between, breakfast 11's is lunch.
I always say tariffs is the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary. Tariffs.
This is a direct attack.
Donald Trump, who changes his mind between, breakfast 11's is lunch and supper time.
What the heck is going on? Why is Trump hitting his closest allies with tariffs? Why does he no longer care about crashing the stock market? Does this guy actually have a plan? Yes, believe it or not, I'm here to tell you that yes, as Trump's new Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent recently put it,
President Trump's tariff policies have begun the process of reorienting our international economic relations.
that's right, he says tariffs have begun the process. In other words, his tariff chaos is just the start of a much bigger plan. A plan that aims to upend the entire world trading system that the US itself created. This has really only happened twice before, once in 1944, marking the start of the Bretton Woods system, and then in the early 80s with Reagan and Thatcher, marking the beginnings of the neoliberal world order. So here we are today, 2025. Is this the start of a completely new global order? A new US-centered order that will emerge right after the current chaos, in which countries are divided in three groups, or as Scott Bessent calls it,
I think we should make it very clear that there is a green, a yellow, and a red bucket, and we let everyone know where they are.
In these buckets, it will become very clear that some countries get low tariffs, military protection, and maybe even some preferred US dollar access, while others are left to fend for themselves. At least, that's the picture I got from going through all of the speeches and papers by Trump's closest economic advisors that I could find. So, let's get into it. What is this MAGA master plan for a new global order? And is this plan actually feasible, or is it just a pipe dream of a madman and his stooges? To answer these questions, let's start with getting into the MAGA mindset and ask ourselves, what does the Trump team actually want? To answer that question, first a bit about Trump's new economic team. First, we have Scott Bessent, the new Treasury Secretary, an ultra-wealthy hedge fund manager that famously worked with George Soros himself to break the Bank of England in the early 90s. And he used to teach economic history classes at Yale. Then there's Stephen Moran, Trump's new top economic advisor, a Harvard PhD and hedge fund strategist who recently got all of Wall Street talking with his new paper, A User's Guide to Restructuring the Global Trading System. Both men have written and talked extensively about one single mortal threat to the United States: deindustrialization. So of course, they were drawn to Donald Trump's campaign with its goal of
Make the United States into a manufacturing powerhouse like it used to be many years ago.
Many years ago, indeed. If we look at this chart, we can see that in the 1950s, the US used to be a manufacturing powerhouse, and manufacturing value added accounted for 28% of output. Today, that number is only 10%. Trump's first trade war did not significantly change that trajectory, though. But why is this such a big problem? America's economy is bigger than ever, right? Why does the Trump team care so much about industry? Two reasons. First, deindustrialization has devastated America's industrial heartland, which overwhelmingly voted Trump in 2024. Second, US industrial power is now far behind that of other comparable powers, especially China, putting it at a massive disadvantage in case of a war, given that historically civilian factories and know-how have been essential for rapid militarization. So, the Trump team thinks a lot about China. What happens if they invade Taiwan? Yes, the US has a stronger fleet for now, but as Vice President J.D. Vance has noted, US deindustrialization has gotten so bad that
One of Beijing's state-owned firms built more commercial ships just last year than all of America has produced since the end of World War II.
So I think in that light,
What going on?
get the? You can hear me? Man, I don't know. Maybe I had to. Yeah, maybe I had to go out and come back in. Cooler, man. Yeah, I was about to say. I don't know. One of y'all got an echo.
Yo.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so I brought a sophisticated system to the cast today.
Hey, that's what we always need, sophistication, man.
She gonna tap in whenever she feel like tapping. Yeah, bro. Trump on the bullshit.
Yeah, in technicality, but without him, we would never be back.
Haiti on the bullshit.
What they on?
First of all, y'all niggas just killing y'all president. Nigga be scared to y'all president.
Man, you know most of that shit be up.
Haiti, you got 9 days to fix this. That's it.
It's weird because the main thing is that if you partner with America, you're usually good. And that, yeah, I know 5 Haitian presidents that never died, and they was the worst Haitian presidents ever. Papa Doc.
I know 5 American presidents that never died.
Yeah, but but American presidents never get assassinated though. So that ain't even the thing that they gotta face.
Right.
Yeah. There's no American president.
No way you just said what I think that you thought that you said when I heard you said this.
There's no American president.
No American president. What?
There's no American presidents that gets assassinated for America. So there's no president that ever was in office that ever stood on America.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, there was definitely presidents. Well, a president, nigga. Well, actually, Tueday, to be quite exact. I think it was 3 of them to be even a little more sure, but for sure it was Abraham and for real, it's a couple more niggas.
Yeah.
It's a couple more niggas. Nah, but I understand that, but that's why I was saying, like, it just depends on, bro, what your regime is. Like, even with this tariff shit, everybody ain't getting hit with it the same way. Some people got a little lenient tariff. Some people got 46%. You feel me? So it really just depends. All the allies good, bro. You just gotta find.
That's up to everybody else. Fucking do their own research. Niggas go to snap and dump shit, man.
And that was the main thing I was saying. That's what I was saying. He's like, it's bad for the economy based on what we're going through, but like as far as economics, eventually there has to be a recession. There has to be a pullback.
I ain't seen too many people get upset about shit that ain't got shit to do with their motherfucking tax bracket.
Hey, even more exact.
What does it mean to you and your family? Not mine. Do you know what it means? Nigga, do you know what it means? Gonna have to start playing. Shut the fuck up.
No, that's facts though. That's most of the motherfuckers that be talking about this shit that be so appalled.
You ain't be the people.
You got to have a damn seizure over some shit he ain't got nothing to do with.
Your president.
Hey, that's wild, bro.
Not the second time.
He said a lot of them was on their Kamala shit the second time around. They ain't trying to take no blame for this, but yeah, like I said, bro, it's mainly those people that live in those areas, bro, that quote unquote, like I said, even with the beginning, we gotta understand that this man even came in on some simple shit where he was supposed to be bringing jobs back to the Midwest. I don't know if y'all know what jobs was ever in the Midwest and all these areas, bro. Trump ain't trying to bring nothing but motherfucking manufacturing jobs back. So a lot of those bros that manufacture things and shit like that, those are the bros that tariffs are really gonna be hit hard on. So yeah, maybe if you're an American and you making toys, like I seen a lot of people in America, they're entrepreneurs, but they're getting their stuff made from China, right? So that right there is affecting their business. So I see some people complaints based on, like I said, entrepreneurship and just different things.
You wanna know when I knew that the ultimate trust was broken? When I seen them goddamn Chinese folks with them Asian folks, they got on TikTok and all that shit. Now they want to tell us that the Louis Vuitton shirt is $2. Now you get up here. Tell me. These motherfuckers, the Louis Vuitton shirt, 20. Now you want to get up try to expose the whole goddamn design and everything. I've been telling no such thing as a fake shoe.
That's facts.
Used to be like, man, they got all fake J's. How? This a shoe. The shoe. It's still a shoe.
Yeah, how's it fake? It's just a shoe.
The shoe is shoe. You got shoes on, right? Alright.
Hey, that's funny though, cause that is a consistent thing, right? Where a motherfucker say something is fake, and it's like, but it's right there. I'm looking at it right there in real life. What do you mean it's fake?
People say, fake ass, whatever. They are. You know they still clothes.
Man.
They
Motherfucker.
doing the same thing that the other clones do. Man.
Yeah, I told you. The shit that only thing that I see people necessarily stand on is like, if you're about to go pay extra for these fake J's and these fake da. I guess there's an angle to clown you where it's like, man, you paid that much extra money and you could have just got some other shoes. Them shits would have been way better.
That's why the men and women these days, they find out that both of them lying to each other.
Why you say that?
Cause it's true. You got men lying to motherfucking women try to get some pussy. You got bitches lying to niggas try to get their goddamn wig bill paid. You know, put them goddamn $400 down on that wig. Now that lady refused to finish that install.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you see, like, and that, and that's the level we get into shit where, like, that's why when these tariffs come in and all these shits, bro. Niggas say you done put some money down on your wig.
She done put $400 down already. Fuck is you saying? That's how you fuck a big weekend up too. Alright, bitch, get the fuck on, bitch. Pay for the rest of this shit by yourself, then, bitch.
And they say, yo, holding wig install over a bitch.
Yeah. Now I'm holding that shit over your head.
Hey, nah, but that's what I was saying. Like, cause even on that same breath and vein of things, do you understand that right now they got people is Klarna offering the payments on the DoorDash and all that type of weak shit?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, eventually, bro, you see the path a lot of this shit be taken, bro.
You see where this shit is headed, bro.
Yes, sir. Like, it ain't even a trick at this point. Like I said, nigga, every time they coming out with something more absurd. Like, who the fuck would ever think that a nigga would need a little money to pay some DoorDash?
You gonna need more than this money to get DoorDash.
That's what I'm saying, because the price of like all these, bro, everything that we use right now as a convenience if you think about it,
more money than what I'm paying for the food to bring me the food, man.
but that's what's going on with Americans.
Fuck, I look like paying more to the nigga to bring me the food than what the fuck the goddamn food costs.
Man, that is most of the people that's under the water with credit card debt. That is literally what it is. That's most of the people that's under the water, whether it's mortgage or motherfucking the price of the home going up, and you got to pay all these other stupid ass. Hey, bro, that's how everybody lose, bro. It depends on the loan you took out and the percentage that's on the loan. That's why when you see Trump do this whole recession shit, it might be bad for the economy in the initial term, but yes, sir. Cause you trying to get everything when it's going back down. You don't want the market so hot. Well, you got to get that 7%, bro. Because anything that go wrong, nigga, you underwater, bro. If you lose your job, nigga, you underwater. That's 7% on whatever money you done borrowed each month.
Man, we got to do a whole nother separate podcast for my neighbor.
What the? Yeah, that just sound like it'll be extreme. Cause I already know how.
That's a different. We'll say that next week, though.
Oh, nah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to mind your own business,
Man, I'm telling you, boy, that's almost one of the hardest things to do, man. Out here.
Nah, I think some people wake up in the morning and say, "Fuck my business. I'm looking for somebody."
Man,
Some people must wake up that way.
Man, in this Trump economy, bro.
Man, you can't blame everything on orange.
Nah, it ain't all on them, but it's we in a different time, bro. It just seems like it's a lot more selfish people. It's a lot more doggy dog world type setup.
Let's get into it, man.
Where you at?
Back to the motherfucking cast, going down like two broke arms and one cast.
Yes, sir.
If the cast go on, we don't listen, but we judge. All that good shit. Thanks for having me yet again.
You already know, my brother in the building, man. Got the brother King Gifted on the special Taco Tuesday episode, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. We talking about currency only, man. Y'all see we kind of already on this Donald Trump situation, kind of on these tariffs, and just talking for a little bit before we really get into everything. But definitely hope y'all are enjoying what y'all getting so far, man. Shout out to everybody out that's always coming through. I know a lot of y'all come through late. Y'all be posting like, yo, when you live, you're gonna have to catch us live, but y'all know our normal times and our dates, so definitely stay tuned.
Shit tonight.
Definitely stay tuned.
Shit will be talking.
Yo, where's my John? Damn,
bro, where do we start? I know you gotta do the Taco Tuesday, but can we piggyback on something?
What's going on?
Man, we gotta go back to the Yellow Bees situation.
Oh yeah.
With the Mo 3, man. I hate to have to bring that back up, but we gotta touch that.
What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that whole setup?
So apparently niggas was saying that he hired a transgender man, girl, nigga, bitch. I don't motherfucking know. No disrespect to that community. Yeah, they say he hired one of those to carry out the mission. But now the motherfuckers will cancel the statement.
The person that he hired? Yeah, I just seen more so recently.
I know you looking up. Where Empress at? I know Empress be all on that shit.
Like, we just looked it up more so recently, but you talking about the little bruh. I don't think he was a trans or that was his idea. I just think I think what the accusation was that he messed with trans, which is what he kind of came out and said too. Like, I ain't see him say nothing against it. He was like, y'all can call me gay if y'all want, but I ain't never been no snitch. I ain't no disloyal ass nigga. So that's what he was standing on. But he wasn't he never. But that do show you 2025 though, because nigga, back in the day, the nigga probably ran from that gay shit far as hell. Bro's like, man, y'all can call me gay or whatever. Y'all call me gay or whatever. Nigga ain't gonna call me a snitch or disloyal. So he basically saying, nigga, I ain't in here telling. So I don't know who got that narrative that who's telling, who not telling. I'm not telling is what he said out of his mouth when they interviewed him from jail.
Tristan. Let's see what we got. Do you have a third person?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta introduce her, man. We gotta welcome her to the cast. She got a soulful mind and she speaks with possession.
Hey, you know we here, man. Waiting on her to jump in, or waiting on her to jump on.
She is in the building. Can we get a bear? Like the Breakfast Club be doing that. She ain't gonna speak up. She's shy.
Let me see if I can find a little video on that shit.
Man, we believe, man. You ain't gotta find no video on that shit.
Nah, not on bruh actually talking. I tell you, nigga, that ain't even really my main topic tonight, so I ain't really necessarily going to that.
Damn, man, I ain't know discuss that shit now. I'm gonna move on to the next topic.
Yeah, that was a little bruh angle.
Through LA earlier this year, the firefighting teams were handcuffed. Not by lack of water or poor forest management, but by something even more basic.
Dozens upon dozens of emergency vehicles, engines, ladders, ambulances, all of them sitting here instead of out on the front lines.
Around 100 of LA's fire vehicles were sitting here on this lot, out of commission. But this wasn't just bureaucratic mismanagement. The truth, it's much more cynical.
A group of financiers came together, bought up a large number of the sources of fire trucks, set up a bottleneck on fire trucks, and then used it to be able to rob the taxpayer blind.
And now, towns across America are dealing with the same crisis. One where something as basic as fire departments with working trucks has become a luxury we apparently can't afford. Someone is benefiting.
Sacrificing public safety over profits now, and when is enough profit enough?
Meanwhile, Americans are stuck paying twice. First with our wallets, and then with our safety. I headed to Salem because I had heard about $1 million fire truck that couldn't fight fires.
This truck was out of service for 10 months. Could not drive it.
That's Salem Fire Chief Gil Carpenter. After 30 years on the force, Gil's witnessing something unprecedented. When fire trucks break, communities can't fix them.
They couldn't.
For these goddamn crackers, but I just can't.
Nah, this
What the fuck, Kenny and Mr. Goddamn Kenny Jr. You brother Kenny Sr. That's Kenny Jr. and Kenny Sr. right now.
Nah, it ain't got nothing to do with them. It got something to do with black people more so, nigga. Because if they ain't got enough trucks, we the last one that they coming to put out fires. If you look at what happened in the Palisades in California, more black people lost their homes.
Who made us incapable of putting out our fires?
I don't know what you mean, but we don't have no black firefighting companies, so I think this is an important story necessarily based on private equity. What you mean?
Do you not know how to put out a fire? The fuck you need a fucking fire truck to come and put out a fucking fire? You don't know how to put out a fire?
Man, that's the wildest thing I ever heard. Everybody could put things out, nigga, but you can't contain no fire, nigga, not with your hands and not with your water. So it's just what it is, just in reality of it.
See, these are the realities that we don't see as reality.
That's the main thing. I tell you, that's how I think a lot of things affect us because we be caught up on.
You don't know how to put out no fire for real. That's disturbing.
It ain't really about knowing how to or not knowing how to. You can't. It's just what it is. I don't care how good you is at putting out fires. You're just not gonna be able to do it.
Man, everybody said I was just a fire put around every year.
Yeah, it's that whole angle right there where you're nigga.
Nah, nigga, throw some guy. You gotta know how to put out a fire, like seriously, man. This is like shit that they teach you in the country. You supposed to know this shit.
I don't care where you at, man. Even if you in a third world country, bro. Once the fire gets to you put it out. What do you mean? That's a fire. That's a small fire.
What would you put on it? If a fire broke out on your stove with grease, what would you put on it?
If the fire broke out on my stove with grease, usually, nigga, I'm a very brave human. So what happened exactly? Because I've been through this situation multiple times. Because I'm the cook in my house. I normally, depends on how much oil is in the pot, I would take the fucking John off the John. If I catch it too late, meaning sometimes you frying something, maybe you get distracted, the oil heat up too much, the oil catch on fire. In that instant, it's better to have a fucking fire extinguisher. That's the best thing that I've found. Or like I said, you can do the some type of towel or something, because you know if you got your oil in that situation, you don't want to throw no water, nigga. That's one of the fucking surefire ways to get your ass burnt the fuck up. But outside of that, yeah, if you don't walk around with a fire extinguisher, bro, you're in a dangerous position right there, bro. You got to take that bitch off the stove.
What's out stove fire?
What?
Salt.
Man, hey, try that shit. Try that shit on the real fire. I tried that job last time. It's just like when they say that if you put your...
What the fuck type of fire you have? But I'm gonna put out plenty of motherfucking fire with salt. Grease fire.
I'm telling you, my shit caught, bro. I don't know. Maybe it was water and I don't know what else was in that pot, but I know for sure I was heating up a pot on the stove with some oil in it, nigga. And I remember coming back, and as soon as I came in, I seen the oil, all the fumes, or all the gas or whatever, the smoke coming from the oil. So I already knew that I had a short amount of time. But me walking slow and being like, nah, I'm good, man. As soon as I got over there and picked that bitch up, nigga, that bitch caught on fire. What I did with that one? I think that one I put straight in the sink, because when I initially had it, I didn't think it was gonna catch fire. So by the time I picked it up and I was moving it to the sink, I just put it down right there. And I remember I tried salt. Salt did not work. The best thing to use in that situation, put the grease fire in the sink, and then you can put water. The water is gonna take the fire out. I tell you, the only thing that you have to worry about is that initial. You have to worry about that. It's just like when you turn on a grill. The initial, you know, when you put the water initially, that fire immediately steams up and hit your ass. That nigga, I said that, nigga, it's a sound to me, nigga. It's an onomatopoeia to me, nigga.
I mean, putting out a grease fire, you definitely want to cover the grease up, not just put it in the sink.
Oh, for sure. Like I said, everything depends. I use all glass utensils. I'm not really covering up no hot oil because I've seen that go too many bad ways. So me personally, like I said, the best thing for me to do is always take the shit outside, give it an open area, and then you can do whatever covering up, whatever nonsense you want to do. Because like I said, when the firefighters come to your house, they don't care if you got grease or not. They're going to spray water. Right? So it just depends on how close you are to the fire, which is what, because it's water and heat which causes the steam. Like I said, if you cook, you know that, nigga. You could be pouring some noodles out of a pot, the steam will burn you. So yeah, as long as you ain't playing with too much water and goddamn heat, bro. I ain't mad at nobody for how their method is necessarily. But forgive the thinking that we don't need fire trucks. I don't know what fires you gonna stop.
Well, I think we can all agree that nobody here is a motherfucking firefighter.
Nah, we ain't firefighters. What you mean? We humans.
Either of us took the necessary precautions, and I explained what we would do in the event that some shit broke out. I thought we were both wrong.
Nah, but the thing is, you said you think it was wrong. I'm telling you that I was born in the third world, and I've had to stop multiple fires. When I was coming to America, the first thing I did was I put a candle under the couch. What you mean? What you mean? I'm confused. I was born in a third world country. That is a normal thing that we do. No, me leaving from America. I don't know if you ever been anywhere outside of America, but people outside of America don't have 24 hours lights. I'm saying it's got to be a confusion with you because you just cut my story off to tell me some nonsense. So I'm wondering, what are you doing? Bro, I'm trying to tell you, we're trying to have a conversation, but you keep on fucking cutting my story off, and I'm leading to a point to tell me some nonsense. So I'm trying to figure out what's your angle right here at this point. You're trying to build, bro. You keep on laughing, my boy. You got a meat on your side, man. But yeah, my whole angle was, don't throw me into not knowing shit, because maybe that's a thing consistent in America, but I'm telling you, where I grew up, it wasn't an option of not knowing or knowing, and just being completely honest. So yeah, maybe in America it's a lot easier to not know stuff, and then maybe somebody will pull up and save you. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, the idea that this right here is a white boy story with the private equity and all y'all fire trucks being missing, that's the crazy part. It's like, bro, you know that's affecting everybody, and it affects black people way more than it affects them. If they got 10 trucks, 10 of them bitches going to a white neighborhood to put that fire out, and then you saying that's all. What's up?
We already know. We always trying to point that shit out. But the odds are what the fuck we gonna stop trying so hard at pointing the odds are being against us and actually doing something about it?
No, I don't think the odds are against us. I think it's our ignorance that makes the odds against us. I think it's against everybody that's a human. Fire don't care if you black or white. I'm saying that we need to care more about this story, because it's not about white people. It's about private equity. It's about business. So I don't know if they're all white, because it could be black people that own these shits. It could be anything. So I don't think it's the angle of helping ourselves or not helping ourselves. It's what is going on with all these private equities, what's going on with all these retirement homes, what's going on with all these different markets, which is why when you see Trump doing what he's doing, those are the reasons why he's doing it. Because of all this other funding.
The most important thing that you got to focus on is the fact that people are born every day and people die every day. So the most important thing in any country is the healthcare system.
And that's the first one that the private equity took down. That is literally our worst part of America right now. I think we like 3rd or 4th in life expectancy and shit like that. And we have this advanced system of care and all these different things. Same thing with people dying during birthing. We have, I'm pretty sure we extremely high on that list. So, I think that capitalism has hit us very, very hard. And I tell you, every time something hit us, like I don't remember what comedian said it, but nigga, if a white man sneezing, nigga, you got a full-blown COVID, nigga, you might die tomorrow. So I think that anytime something is going on the grander scale of things, when you're able to look at it and, oh, all right, boom, that's what's going on, I think it'll always be able to give you a legs up as far as how you can deal with it. Go on.
Whenever the most far-fetched motherfucking depart, they don't just stand from nowhere.
Facts.
So, what they say, 90% of everything that you hear is true. 0% of everything that you see is false. Some shit like that.
Man, that shit sound crazy. But I definitely understand the idea. But yeah, that saying, that's a crazy ass saying. To say, nigga, just 0% of the shit you see is true.
0% of the shit you see is false.
Oh, okay. That might be a lot better. Yeah.
It's all about how you conduct yourself, man, and carry your weight. And if you carry your weight through your day-to-day life.
Facts.
Bro, I've been tested so much, bro.
Facts.
Man, I say I get on this case. You know, I'll fuck with y'all.
Nah, you already know we go in.
It be happening in spurts. The bullshit gonna come, man. The bullshit gonna be there. It's just all about how you maneuver the bullshit, bro.
Yes, sir.
You gotta know how to maneuver the bullshit, man, because bullshit gonna be there. You gonna encounter some bullshit, undoubtedly. That shit is so inevitable that you can't even make it.
That's facts.
Those are gonna be the times where you about to be so close to a goal, and what happens all the time is we already know. The bullshit. You just gotta be strong enough to maneuver through the bullshit.
That's facts. That is fucking facts. But I'm telling you, it's so many things. Like I tell you, I was talking about just recently with being rich or being poor. This is this idea. Because like you just saying, bullshit gonna come to you no matter who you is, bro. It's just how are you able to deal with it? Are you able to blah, 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 rub it off your back, go to the next angle? So that's always an important thing with dealing with shit, man, because no matter who you are, bro, no matter what position you think you in, there's going to be a time that you're put in some type of compromising position or some type of position where you feel like, yo, I feel like they taking advantage of me or whatever. So, yeah. You got to always be on that mode, bro. And like I said, even with whether it's you talking... Oh, that's...
So I see Lemmy Plummer or Lemon Pepper, as y'all call him, is up on X spewing lies.
That's facts.
Never trust tweets on
Nigga, your wife told me some shit about 2 months ago.
So I see Lemmy Plummer or Lemon Pepper.
About what?
So I...
Shaking that cracker hand.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, well, why the fuck didn't... And I'm like... Why the fuck would I? But in hindsight, I should've.
Hey, it goes back to the saying, right? You play the fool to catch the wise. You already know what time it is, but yeah, in that moment, it was just like, man, what the fuck? But like I said, looking back, that's always a good thing, though, when you're able to look back, nigga, and learn from these lessons, bro. You know how much time I done learned from lessons where it's like, I thought that shit was a good idea. That makes sense, okay.
You said some shit, you was like, hey, nah, nigga, you just stepped out
bro, and I told you that I was in agreement with you. That's why I was able to see both sides. Because it's like, nigga, the first thing, that was my angle. And then once Empress painted the picture, I was like, that do make sense. It's not wrong or right. But, nigga, if you want to be here.
That's why we need black women, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Exactly why the fuck we need black women.
That's 100% fact. That is 100% fact.
It may not even make sense now. But later. Well, I guess it made sense to me then. It made sense to me later. I was like, damn, that was actually kind of correct.
I told you, but we had two different angles, because I was telling you, like, in your situation, I would never did it like that, but it was another situation I told you, like, no, I would never did that, and it's like, yeah, that's the difference, right? We know how to react to different situations, but if we're put into this situation, then we may overreact to this one situation, right? But that's what I'm saying. It's different situations across the board. Rich, poor, black, white, no matter what it is, we all gonna face a situation, bro. And I feel like if we learn from others and we're able to listen to a motherfucker, even if a motherfucker white, even a motherfucker fat, you might be skinny, whatever the fucking shit is, if we're able to listen to that motherfucker, nigga, we ain't gotta go through it, right? We're able to be like, oh, bro, was saying, damn, that shit sounds stupid. But now, thinking about what that cracker was saying, that's what he meant by it. Alright, fuck that. You start getting those little, alright, that's what he meant. Alright.
The most people that ever helped you was what?
Probably of the opposite race.
Alright, the most people that ever helped me, more than most likely, 80% of the time, the opposite race.
Yep. But you gotta think about why. Because they're already in position of control with a lot of those things. Like I tell you, that's why I always talk about black privilege and why it's so important. Because we are the working class initially. So every job in the world, everything in the world, we have done it. Not everything in the world do you see white man. Maybe they have an ownership, maybe but they ain't working these physical jobs. They ain't doing all these different things, so they don't know the inner workings of a lot of this shit. Even back in the days when the fucking Italians and all the motherfuckers came to America and they were selling drugs, they went to the blacks and the blacks started moving the drugs. That's how the blacks are so deep in the game and all this understanding about how do you meet this plug and all this. That shit started because before we was foot soldiers. That's what we was only foot soldiers. We didn't have no work. We was in the country. Niggas came from outside the country. Yes, sir. So I tell you, to show you how the shit build up, bro, and you finally get to a point where it's like, oh snap, I do have privilege in this spot now, cause now I know this bitch inside and out, nigga. Before I was just a foot soldier. Now I done worked up. Now I'm quote unquote the plug. Before this plug, he ain't never been no foot soldier. He don't know what it is to be on the block and how to move and da-da-da. He don't really get all that shit, but he gets the higher business perspective, and that's the same thing with business, nigga. When you go to a job, you can work at Coke, you can work at anything, nigga. You probably started out doing all the physical shit. Now you up, you feel me? So now you may be able to make these different decisions like, man, I think we need this. I tell you, a lot of my managers, I remember even when I used to be a worker, nigga, especially when I worked at Coke a couple years back, most of the managers that I had that was good managers, they was always black people, and none of them really lasted that long because they was good. They was good humans. Meaning that nigga, we working hard. Man, bro, that soda right there busted open, man. Y'all,
that nigga on that Coke machine.
bro, I'm telling you. Yo, they had to get them niggas out of here, bro, because bro, I'm telling you, bro, it's all you always see it on. You like, okay, that's what's going on. Like I said, them niggas don't last long, bro. If you in that being you being genuine, bro, and you looking out for niggas, and your goal ain't just to fuck people over, man, you don't know how hard it's gonna be to actually convince them motherfuckers to be on your team.
It's a hard pill for you to swallow, and I'm gonna keep it gangster with you. Anytime that a black person is in a position of motherfucking power, you gotta do what you gotta do before you start doing what the fuck you want to do to help your people.
Facts.
Now, that's gonna be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people that's in a position of power.
That's facts.
And that is why life will be in a position of power.
That's facts.
That is
100% fact.
Nigga, how many chairs do you think Harry took? This ain't no joke. This is real. How many fucking trips do you really think Harry took back above the Mason? Just throwing them out there. How many do you really like realistically? Fuck what the fuck you done read in the motherfucking book. Let's just be real with each other. How many trips do you think Harry Tubman really took on
well, it's weird, but if I was just going off based on her character and how they explain, I wouldn't think she'll take more than 2. Right? Yeah, because I remember she had to go back one time to get her brothers, so I could understand that double back. The first time necessarily, she probably freed herself with whoever. So yeah, all right. So yeah, 3 times. So the first time, bye, and then 2 times back. Just as I'm grabbing my brothers. Who else we can grab?
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Why did you try to make it seem like this was a fucking transit? Like, I hate when they do that with our history, bro. They try to get our history, they just get our history wrong. It's like they just saying something, just saying something, bro. And then they twist up everything. They try to make it seem like Nat Turner was raping white people. The white bitches was raping Nat Turner.
Man, I told you, boy, it's a lot of them stories, bro. Denmark BC, it's a lot of them stories where they don't really tell you about the other side, how them brothers was giving it up. Yeah, but that's why even the brother that made the Nat Turner movie, they canceled that man while making the movie. That man hasn't been back since.
Yeah, guess why?
They said he raped a white girl in college.
Fuck you did, man. We should never fucking around with nobody in the motherfucker.
Nah, but black people the one that canceled him.
Black people are canceling this motherfucking body.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
He canceled the pit bulls in my backyard right now. He got that tired up. What time is it? 12? Cancel them.
Nah, that's facts though. See, but I think white people.
But they never choose to cancel the right thing.
Yo, I think white people is the worst.
Anonymously, cancel dumb shit.
Facts.
But we never come together and cancel something important.
That's facts, nigga. Because like I said, Empress always asking me who the hell came out and said that they wanted to cancel Aunt Jemima. Like, nigga, we don't need that canceled. That ain't shit. What you mean? Like, what the hell going on? So yeah, who is these random black people that's complaining about fuck shit? It's like, bro, we don't care about that stupid ass box, but that shit ain't affecting shit, bro. Like, that ain't gonna change our status and wealth, nigga. We don't got nothing to do with that brand. It's still a white person that own that brand, nigga. You feel me? You want them to make the look.
Which is why niggas still tattooing these street bands on their own. Niggas still tattooing the name of their goddamn, well, they think it's street, but they tattooing the names of streets on their motherfucking own. Still, to this day, you got young niggas think about what the fuck I'm saying. You have young niggas that are tattooing the names of streets that don't even motherfucking belong to them on their motherfucking skin, still in 2025. Nigga, we have failed all of our black men.
That's facts. No, that's facts though. That aspect of it, nigga. What wisdom are we imparting that niggas are still putting these names on them and they don't know? Yo, that that's a white man name right there.
Man, we failed these young niggas, bro. That why these young niggas moved away. We failed. Collectively.
And that's
we failed shit out of these young niggas, bro.
And look, everybody think they're moving crazy because we all got a whole narrative. We all got a whole stereotype now about YNs. Alright, so everybody necessarily as a community, as a unit, we all like, yo, them YNs is on another level. We all saying that, and it's like, damn, how did they get there? Who are these motherfuckers' parents? Facts. That's facts, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's really the motherfuckers right above us, but like I said, we coming in now with our youth actually growing up too, but it'll necessarily be our uncles and shit that was out here necessarily before us. But yeah, man,
ain't nobody ever fucking slapped no motherfucking teacher in their fucking face and recording that shit with a fucking Android phone and posted that shit on TikTok when we was growing up.
No sir.
God.
I couldn't even imagine the nigga doing that. But yeah, now, like I said, they commit crimes and record it.
You know what? I couldn't.
Man, I'm just thinking about the idea of recording a crime, nigga, and showing it, bro. That is what sounds wild to me, bro. Just that idea of just being so, I don't know, but it's new age, bro.
You niggas going up school with a hoodie on. It's in the middle of the goddamn. He in summer school. Pulls out the fucking Android. Starts recording himself on TikTok. And then he said, I'm about to slap the fuck out of my motherfucking teacher. And he does it. Slap the fuck out of the teacher. And it's on record. And then the camera video goes in.
That little boy went viral.
That nigga viral.
Yeah, I tell you, I've been seeing the new market, bro. With these, I'm talking about like the new market, bro, of what we're doing, bro, and what we selling, whether it's sexually, whether it's fucking, bro. I'm telling you, bro, this new.
The conversations that come after that, when the fucking parents gotta go to the school and talk to the goddamn principal. Well, he ain't do this shit at home. Principal bullshit. You do it all the motherfucking day.
That's a story about a black brother from LSU, Karen Lacey. He was supposed to be an NFL prospect, and like that, bro, that's fucking interesting. But just to stick on his story, because I don't want to bring up another story. But there was another player that went through the same thing, and I tell you, I always speak about him because last year I spoke about him because he ended up coming back and reviving his career in a sense, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's still battling with things internally, because the same thing with Lacey. We could be like, yo, blah that went on, he was going through it, but he was also still facing those charges, right? So what happened was, it happens to all these college kids, and it's happening more now because we're giving them faster cars, we're giving them more money. So niggas drinking in a faster car, it may not be the best. I'm not sure that's what his situation is, but nevertheless, he was in a whip. Accident happened. 78-year-old passed. He fled the scene without administering aid. Right. So, Bob, that's out there. This leads to maybe affecting his draft stock, but he's still in the race. Still trying to do his thing, trying to get drafted. And then yesterday, officers pull up on him, find him dead. He committed suicide, they saying. And it's like, is that better than to face, like, I'm a little confused about it. Yeah. So initially, when I initially heard this story, yes sir. When I initially, I'm glad that you're on here, because when I heard this shit, I thought about it the same way you thought about it. I was like, hold on, what? He committed suicide? Why? And then matter of fact, right here, Lacey died April 12th, 2025 in Houston, Texas at the age of 24. His death occurred 2 days before a scheduled grand jury hearing. So this is why they're tying all that stuff in, related to the December 2024 car crash. Harris County authorities stated that on the day of his death, Lacey got into a verbal argument with a family member that resulted in Lacey discharging a firearm into the ground before fleeing the scene. So look. So all of this started, mind you. All of this started. The reason why he fled the scene, the reason why he got into this accident when he hit bruh and slid about all that shit, it came from an argument with me and my family member where I discharged the firearm and fled the scene. So they're tying it in because they're saying this happened 2 days before the grand jury hearing. You know, usually when you go there, they'll let you know blah 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 blah. Like that's usually nigga when they let you know, hey, you on this, you gonna have to do this. We gonna need you back here on this. So maybe
we're making the biggest mistake of involving the wrong authorities.
Explain.
That's simple explaining to it. Black folks do that shit to each other, man.
Oh, you were saying there's no reason why somebody should be calling the officer in that situation?
Man, we invented the term whole quarters.
Yes, sir.
Eye for eye. That was all.
Yes, facts. Yeah, like I said, to me personally, then that
black people are really calm people with certain situations, bro. It's like a nigga would slap the shit out of a nigga and piece of her. But if he turn around and it's a police officer looking at him,
he'll run.
Niggas will bench up. I don't get that with the majority of us, bro. Me, I'm just me. I ain't the biggest of the bad, bro. I don't question authority too much. But when shit is off, you gotta correct shit. Sometimes you have no choice. So I do that. But remember I just saying I'm name some shit that makes sense.
Facts. That's facts. Hey, but even on this same point, cause I really want you to hear how white people are speaking about it, cause just a little bit of it. And the reason why I'm doing this is cause first of all, I already know you be having some good takes, but did you hear about the other situation also with the one with the black kid?
I want to get on this camera. I can't fuck up his name. Carmelo with a K.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You remember the black kid in Texas? He's going through the same shit. So that's the same angle. So I
the same angle. That angle a little bit more closer to home.
In what sense?
In the sense of, come on, man. They only had to make Dylan was the only motherfucker that they had to. Man, one thing about black folks, bro, we gonna see the light of fuck even in the dark. Now, when they start showing from Maryland, motherfucking picture, and they start putting that shit up next to Cal Rittenhouse, that was black people just making one point. That's just one motherfucker that pulled out the clock. We got so many other little crazy little black little babies that we kill right on our motherfucker. They do dumb shit, shoot up shit, all this fucking schools, do all this ignorant, dumb shit.
Yeah, I just feel like,
somebody, bro. We still don't know what the fuck happened to the jit that was up in what, Tallahassee? The college student that got rolled up in the fucking mat, organs missing. We still don't know what the fuck happened to him, man. Come on, man, let's fucking play.
Nah, that's big facts. That's facts. But I heard Dick Gregory say this, and I always want to bring up Dick Gregory said. Dick Gregory said, if you want to see more black, he said, if you want to see more black people get killed by white people, start moving into their neighborhoods. So exactly what you're saying makes sense, and that's why, like I said, I'm gonna jump to the Carmelo shit next because it's very interesting to me, that whole topic. So that's what I was saying. I want to tie these two things in, just in the simplicity of the reactions. So with the Karen Lacey, you could say he's a coward, you could say whatever people want to necessarily say. The situation simply started with me and my family in an altercation, blah, blah, some bullshit happened, nigga, I lost it in a moment, whatever, ran, some other dumb shit happened. Same thing with the Carmelo Anthony situation. You can say, yo, why you so tough? But it's like, hold on. So you say it's normal for people to take people's backpack and try to bully them? Okay, that's another angle. But what is more caught up, just initially what we're talking about, I just want you to hear two reactions. I would probably like a minute or so of each. So I want you to hear this white boy talk about this black boy situation. And I'm going to play a black man speak about the Carmelo Anthony situation. And I'm like, oh, he's confused too. So just a minute apiece, I want to say at most.
Tyron Lacey, an LSU standout, future NFL draft pick, who weeks ago just ran a 40 at the combine, had a very bright future in the NFL. Well, so we thought. At the end of last year, he killed a man named Herman Hall, a 78-year-old ex-Marine, in a reckless car accident by racing and swerving in from lane to lane. That's just.
Alright, so 1 second, let us make sure we're able to double check this. December 2024 car crash. Harris County authorities stated that on the day of his death, Lacey got into it. Oh, so this is another John family member that resulted in Lacey discharging a firearm into the ground before fleeing the scene. A vehicle pursuit with the police occurred, lasting several miles and ending when Lacey's vehicle crashed. Lacey was found dead in his car, appearing to have died by suicide by firearm prior to the crash, as both the body camera and dash cam revealed. No shots were fired after the pursuit ended. Okay, so this is how he passed. He passed fleeing. Okay, this is what I wanted right here. On a Louisiana highway, causing a head, accused of speeding and illegally passing people, causing a head-on crash that killed a 70-year-old passenger on December 17. Lacey reportedly fled the scene without calling authorities or emergency services. Lacey was arrested on January 12. After he agreed with authorities to turn himself in, he was released the same day on the bail and charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run with death, and reckless operation of a vehicle. Okay, so he probably for sure is going to face some type of time. I would only imagine. Yeah, that's okay. So, alright, so he died being chased after getting into another argument. Okay.
Facts. That's what it is. That makes you think stupid.
Who are we talking about?
The Lacey kid. He died. Kind of like to say. Matter of fact, another story that I kind of probably want to touch on really fast with you before we get up out here is the scooter situation. But yeah, they said he died fleeing from the cop, got into another accident, but it says fatal, which is weird. I don't know if he killed anybody or maybe he just got into a badass crash. But yeah, he got into a verbal argument. His vehicle crashed and it. For sure.
Only for our selfish reasons. We've defended kids for DUIs, assault and battery, fucking... only to get them on the football field to perform for our own selfish reasons to win a football game. We have lost what college athletics are supposed to be about, people. College athletics were supposed to be about trials and tribulations, creating tough skin, learning discipline, how to compete, how to persevere. We're not doing that in college anymore when we hand these motherfuckers a bag of money, a $200,000 car, and tell them to go ahead and figure life out. That's not how college athletics are for 17 to 21, 22-year-olds. You're supposed to teach these kids what life's about, not go figure it out. Wonder why we have kids self-inflicted gunshot wounds that are about to be fucking drafted to the NFL. You wonder why we got kids that don't know how to drive a Prius yet who are fucking running cats off the road because they don't know how to handle 700 horsepower to the rear. The shit has gotten out of hand. And we are forgetting the fact that these are babies who don't know shit about shit. We are giving them more money than their own parents ever earned in their entire lives at 17 to 21 years old. We are giving them $100,000 cars, $200,000 cars when they can't drive, giving them the ability to make all their own choices when they don't know right from wrong yet. What are we fucking doing, people? I have the word coward in bold red letters on this thumbnail. And I'm going to address this now. You see it. Everybody's been commenting since late last night. The truth is, we are all cowards who allow this to continue to transpire.
His other son. Here's Austin Metcalf's, no, I'm sorry. I think his name is Drew Metcalf, his dad, Drew Metcalf. Here's a portion of his interview.
I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? Well, he brought a knife to a child. He murdered in the heart. The guy was in the wrong place. They asked him to move. And he bowed up. This is murder. I don't know. I know they have someone who got me. And you know what? I didn't forget this person. God takes care of things. God's going to take care of me. God's going to take care of my family.
The man loses his son. And he lets a few sparks fly, lets off some steam. Hey, what kind of family does this kid come from? It's a natural response. Don't blame Drew Metcalf for having that response. Best I can tell, Carmelo Anthony's parents, pretty supportive, really involved in their child's life. I'm sure moved out to the Frisco area trying to put their son in the best environment. But Carmelo Anthony's parents exist in a world where their kids exist in this black culture bubble and have to adhere to this black culture bubble and mentality and culture that's enforced and imposed on them. I don't want to call his parents victims, but they are. They have to raise their child, and maybe they participate in this black culture. Maybe Carmelo Anthony's parents, they like most black people, maybe they love this hip hop culture and promote it. Maybe they love Black Lives Matter. Maybe they promote the mentality that black people are entitled to things, black people are perpetual victims, and that the white man is the source of all their evil. Maybe, I don't know. But from what I can tell, they seem pretty supportive and involved in their son's life, and to the point of were they pampering and spoiling this kid too much? I saw pictures of it looked like they gave him a Lexus on his 16th birthday. And then the next year he's got a Jeep truck. And I'm not blaming them. They're dealing with a lot. And I don't know them. I just know they were supportive and they were trying to give their son all the things that they thought were necessary to make him happy and well-rounded. And the argument that I'm making today, you can't buy your kids out of trouble. You can't give them fancy cars and keep them out of trouble. You must make your children surrender to Jesus Christ and a biblical worldview. That's your only hope. Because if they surrender to a biblical worldview, they will reject black diss culture. They will reject hip hop culture. They will hear it, see it, and understand it for what it is. It's a death culture that will lead your child to imprisonment or an early grave. So I understand why Drew Metcalf said that, and out of frustration, I get why he's like, man, what are his parents about? Who would raise a child that would bring a knife to a track meet in Frisco, Texas? Think it through. Hey, I'm going to Frisco, Texas for a track meet. I better carry a knife. Why? Because, again, he's a part of a culture that thinks you need to be armed and ready for violence at any and all times. He's not coming in peace because black culture tells you you don't come in peace. Someone steps on your shoes, someone disrespects you, you meet that with force. Look, I'm not making excuses. I'm telling you what's going on with young people as a whole, because there's a nihilistic mentality across America, globally. But as it relates to black kids, and this black culture that's been defined for us, this problem is really, really acute. And we have to muster the courage to reject it. And it really doesn't take courage. It takes fear of God to reject it. If you're serious about your faith walk, if you're serious about everybody in corporate media, they want some.
Yeah, so that's another angle of the same story. And I'm about to go. I got two more. I really want to run this one, and I want to run the end of the next.
Street cred. They want someone, oh man, he must be best friends with rappers, and maybe he raps a little bit on the side. And so Steven Jackson, I'm gonna play you the context. Let's start with Steven Jackson checking in with O-Block. This happened a year or two ago, and people have been critical of Steven Jackson for this visit to O-Block. We want to start with that video just to give you the context. And then I'm gonna show you how that video actually enhances Steven Jackson as a media personality. There's more opportunities. There's a bigger paycheck. People will invest in you because that's the lane. They put a little piece of cheese in a mousetrap. And so they sprinkle money in a mousetrap and says, hey, over here, here's the money. Street credibility and clownish behavior, come in here, there's a bunch of cheese. People call it cheddar. They call that money, cheese, cheddar, blah, blah, blah. They put that in the trap and everybody's running towards the trap. And Steven Jackson has run there. And so here he is in Chicago visiting O-Block.
Yeah. A lot of y'all man, O-Block pulling up taking pictures. Where we at? We're in the middle of it. Man, y'all pull up and take pictures and y'all not allowed to. And one thing about it, if you're a real one, you don't mind checking in. Checking in? What you say? I check in with the real one. That's why I'm in the middle of O-Block. You see the hoop? Where you at? I'm in the middle of O-Block. Man, listen, man. Shit you can't pay for. No rap cap. Shit you can't pay for. We really out here. O-Block. Shot town. Rest in peace, King Kong. We're in the middle of O-Block, ain't we? Quit playing, man. I'm everywhere. You never there.
So that is Steven Jackson out of his own mouth checking in on O-Block. And I believe the young man next to him is a guy named Ty. You've heard Pastor Corey Brooks on this show. Pastor Corey Brooks, who has a church in the heart of O-Block, knows Ty, the guy that was next to him, to Steven Jackson. You heard him talk about like Ty's struggles, and Ty, I think, is locked up and incarcerated right now for killing somebody. And so you're about to hear a video that Steven Jackson did an interview with somebody. Maybe his name's Mike D. I don't know. We'll play the video here in a second. But where he's explaining his checking in. And he's saying that he didn't check in. But we just heard him out of his own mouth say he did check in. But again, all of this controversy is good. It enhances. And when you understand the history of the All the Smoke podcast and Showtime and the corporate people that got behind platforming and elevating Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes to an elevated position in the sports media place, this is what is necessary for the black man to have a place in the corporate media landscape. And this isn't me sitting there saying, oh, tisk, the evil white man. He's built a system that rewards this type of criminal mentality and motif and brand. But the system has built that. The people in control of Hollywood, in control of television and the entire media system, they've built a system that favors the criminal element as it relates to black people. And so here's Steven Jackson now checking in on O-Block. Let's play the clip.
I don't bother nobody. You don't never see me bother nobody getting nobody business, bro. And let's clear up the O-Block shit since we talked about that. Yeah. You can't find, I give $1 million to anybody that you can find on O-Block to say I checked in. This is how the whole story went. We was in Chicago for the big three.
Stop the tape. Stop the tape and rewind it. I want to play it again. He just $1 million. If you can find anybody that says he checked in with O-Block. Well, we just heard him on O-Block.
Real Estate Agents I Trust connects you with top performing real estate agents in your area. These aren't just any professionals. They're carefully vetted to does.
Play the original tape from O-Block. I just want to be clear. Let's play the tape. The original Steven Jackson on O-Block, and we'll stop it 15, 20 seconds in after he acknowledges checking in.
Yeah. A lot of y'all man, O-Block pulling up taking pictures. Where we at?
Tell them how they coming.
We're in the middle of it. Man, y'all pull up and take pictures and y'all not allowed to.
They sneak.
And one thing about it, if you're a real one, you don't mind checking in.
Checking in. What'd you say?
I check in with the real one. That's why I'm in the middle of O-Block.
Where you at?
You see the hoop?
Okay. Stop. Now, this is out of his own mouth. This is what he said in real time when he checked in. Now let's play him explaining it this week that, let's play this second tape or this second video. Let's play that again.
I don't bother nobody. You don't never see me bother nobody getting nobody business, bro. And let's clear up the O-Block shit since we talked about that. Yeah. You can't find, I give $1 million to anybody that you can find on O-Block to say I checked in. This is how the whole story went. We was in Chicago for the big three. We went out, we got up, we was back in the hotel gambling and playing cards in the lobby. Will Bynum is from Chicago. He has another dude from Chicago. My drunk ass says, let's go to O-Block.
I mean, that's not a norm for you, though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not a reach for you.
No, and it wasn't surprising to nobody that was there.
Especially
and Will was like, you for real? I'm like, yeah, dog, let's go. They knew somebody there. They called him, told us we could pull up. I pulled up, rolled some weed with him, smoked with a couple of them. There's one little dude, shout out Ty. I don't know what he got going on. I'm gonna tell you a story about Ty. As soon as I got out there, that little stuck, you know what I'm saying, got right on my hip. You know what I'm saying?
Come on,
little
man.
young nigga. To the point where shit.
If something happened to him, it's happening to me.
Bro, he just stuck to me. You know what I'm saying? Gave him my weed, rolled me and him smoking together. So I'm out there shooting basketball, shooting the bush.
Oh, you
It's 5 in the morning.
Yes.
Like I'm in PA, man. Ain't no checking in. They pulled up on the youngins.
When you heard me yesterday talking about the culture, this is what I'm talking about. There's a black culture that's about as pagan as anything I've ever seen. I've only lived 57 years, so I haven't seen it all. And I've read the Bible and know that, there are other levels of paganism and other versions of paganism. And so I know it's not, but when you're in your mid-40s, and again, what did I tell y'all about me growing out this beard and letting the gray come in? And it's a sign of wisdom. As older people, we're supposed to be passing on wisdom. That's biblical. And so I'm saying there's a pagan culture that has been adopted by black people. And there's a pagan culture adopted by other demographics. But this one here that we have adopted here in America and have spread across the globe, there are curses and penalties for it. Because when we greet our young people, we're not trying to lift them up. We're not trying to elevate them. We are trying to bring them down. Hey, I'm going to smoke some weed with you. I'm going to show up and hang out with you at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm drunk and high. I'm going to affirm your demonic behavior that has led Ty to incarceration.
Anyone else out there who's doing shit like this, we're all cowards, homie. This kid is a coward because he was taught how to be a coward with the ability to run and hide from real world problems when they arise. The real world is going to come fast at each one of us, and we need to understand how to take it on. But running isn't how it's done. But we have taught that is how it's done. We're teaching these kids to run and hide. Oh man, you can't start this year as a true freshman. Guess what? You could bounce. You could go transfer to go over to Oklahoma and try it over there. Oh, you didn't start there either? You can go to LSU next year. Oh, you didn't like there? Go to Oklahoma State next year. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, we end up at fucking D2. We have taught these kids it's okay to run and hide and receive money that is based on worth, not based on what has been earned in life. We have all failed our youth and are all cowards this morning. This kid ran from facing the consequences that he needed to face for killing a human being with his vehicle. But we have told this kid and millions others like him, it's okay to run. It's okay to hide and not face the truth. It's okay, but go somewhere else and start all over. It's okay. You can just start all over. Everything will be swept under the rug. Everything will be forgotten. Because we're so apologetic and forgiving on social media where every one of you all live nowadays and take it for the gospel. Whatever's said on Twitter is the gospel. So we will continue to see this sad shit go on until we get our youth back in control, until we teach them how to be respectable adults first, before anointing them the next greatest thing on planet Earth, before allowing them to do what they want with zero consequence. And before we allow them to run and hide from real world problems that they will face and will have to teach their own kids. See, y'all keep blaming us for raising these fucking shitbirds. But I have something to tell you. There's a fucking generation missing that you continue to refuse to dismiss. There's a generation these kids are having their own kids, and they don't even know how to be an adult themselves. And you expect them to raise their kids to be fucking good adults? You wonder why we're getting riddled in society with a bunch of fucking shitbirds? Y'all keep forgetting that part right there. We have failed them, and shame on us for all being cowards. Cowards today. But what do I know? We'll dive into it. We got a loaded show today. Pound that like, subscribe. The fact of the matter is, everybody out here who don't think this kid is a coward and who don't think the people that raised him or people that mentored him around him or the system that has allowed him to get here are cowards, you're full of shit. You haven't looked in the mirror and faced reality yet. You haven't understood. And I feel for the father and the mother of this kid. I feel for the family for this kid. I couldn't imagine losing a 24-year-old kid, period. So this isn't about lack of parents or he had 2 parents in the household, everything I've looked at. The father wrote a tweet yesterday. Check on your kid's mental status and all this old shit. Here's the issue, man. The entire every adult in the room nowadays needs to look at each other and say, we are all cowards for allowing these kids to do what they want to do because they are kids. And remember, this kid was an older kid if we're going to really talk about in perspective. He's 24. So getting drafted at 24 is, older now, right? Unless you're a quarterback. But, like, at the end of the day, this is a cowardly act that was learned behavior. It was taught behavior. Like, this isn't something that the kid just woke up and said, hey, he just ran a 40-yard at his own pro day or whatever. He had ran a 40, promising kid, promising future. The shitty part is the kid was off the rocker. He was out there. He had a police chase 2 nights ago where he ended his own life at. So listen, man, we can all talk about this and have a grown man conversation, grown women conversation, and not make it about race, not make it about JB, you're a hater. Some of you in this chat need to actually grow a pair of nuts and grow up today. Grow up today on the show. There's a bigger problem out there than this one kid performing a cowardly act. We have taught this cowardly act, and the adults need to look at it in the mirror and say, we're the cowards for allowing these kids to allow them to go out here and be off the chain. These kids are off the chain because there's no adult mentorship out here. We all are trying to get a bag off these kids. Parents, helicopter parents, not that this kid has one, but the street agent, the 7-on-7. All these cats are seeing cash cow, and they're using these kids instead of teaching them what's right and wrong. They fucking just enable them. They enable them. So the bottom line is a lot of you guys can't handle the truth, and it's okay. But let's have a real conversation real quick. Have I heard anyone talk about the 78-year-old man that was killed, Herman Hall? Have I heard any of you pussies in the chat defending this kid? Defend him? I want to know. Can I defend him? Can I defend a 78-year-old ex-Marine who served our country? Can I defend that guy? Because I haven't seen anyone defend him. I've only seen defending the kid who killed this guy. I have yet to see a motherfucker defend the 78-year-old that got killed. It's crickets in here, huh? Quiet. Fucking real quiet, dog. Huh. It's real quiet, homie. It's real quiet. Again, like my homie said, it's crazy how y'all will defend and love a motherfucker once he passes away, but refuse to understand and address the actual facts of the matter. That's what's crazy about it, dog. That's what's really crazy about it, homie. And it's unbelievable. So Jamil Ridley, who's going to defend all things left, he says the state defended him by bringing charges against Lacey. So Lacey had a court date today, by the way, had a court hearing. And I don't know, Jamel, you know how the courts work and the shit like that. But he passes away 2 days before, obviously. His court hearing was today, set for arraignment. So that gives Jamil, I guess, Jamil Hill or Jamil Ridley. I'm going to call him Jamil Hill. He gives Jamil Hill in the chat the right to defend the kid. over the fact that the guy that's 78 lost his life in a reckless car accident that this kid was racing up and down the street, and it probably is one of his cars that they've given him in this new era. And so, well, Jamil, then stop being a pussy, homie. Stop calling it what it is. Maybe one day you'll actually tell one of these young kids the truth instead of telling them fucking sweet nothings. And maybe one day you'll see one of these motherfuckers actually start to make a decision that benefits someone instead of motherfucking putting it on someone else. Like, Jamil, all you do is defend the motherfucking kid, homie, once he passed away. Jamil, were you talking to Lacey before he fucking killed himself, homie? Let me ask you, were you out there giving proactive tweets, homie? Man, let's stop doing this